Hey, welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. We got an informational webinar today on basically everything you need to know about water, hydration, and electrolytes, more specifically, how it relates to activity and general exercise when we're in the outdoors. For those of you that don't know, at this point, you probably should. I'm Zach Kerrigan. I'm certified strength conditioning specialist located in Providence at the 40 Westminster Fitness Facility. I also have a Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science and Health Promotion. So I'm going to be sharing with you a lot of information on this general topic, and feel free to always reach out to me if you have any additional questions on this content. You can find me at my email, which is zkerrigan@textron.com. So let's hop right into it here. So, I mean, we got to kind of get a little bit of background on why we need to increase our fluid intake and even drink water during workouts or just general life. So we're kind of go over the basics of what water is essential to maintain blood volume, regulate body temperature, and allow muscles to contract in the first place. During exercise, the body maintains optimal body temperature by sweating. Heat is removed from the body when those beads of sweat on the skin evaporate. This is resulting in a loss of body fluid, along with the rise in the ambient temperature, humidity, and the increased exercise intensity. Okay, this is all it's going to make you perspirate a little bit more. Okay, so and as we get into it, we're going to talk about what is sweat made of and why we need to supplement with different types of fluid, electrolytes, water, so on. It's going to reduce the risk of heat stress, maintain normal muscle functions, and prevent performance decreases due to that hydration. In most cases during exercise, the rate of sweat loss is higher than the rate that you can drink, which results in a fluid deficit, which obviously whenever you hear deficit, that's not a good thing. So we're going to break it down and figure out how we get you out of that and how to monitor it, basically. So hydration performance, as dehydration increases, there's a gradual reduction in physical and mental performance. So basically, with this, we're saying that it's not specifically just physical, but it's also mental. So you can have change in how you in how you think, rationale. Okay, there's an increase in heart rate, body temperature, an increase of perception of how hard the exercise actually feels if you're dehydrated, especially when exercising the heat and humidity, and particularly dehydration of greater than a 2% loss of your body weight. It increases the risk of nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and other gastrointestinal problems during exercise, which I'm sure none of us want to have happen. You may even end up feeling bloated or sick if you delay the fluid replacement. Okay, it's impossible to train or to toughen your body up to handle that hydration. So keep that in mind. That's something that you can't say, oh, I'm just going to keep exercising, I'm going to toughen up the body. Okay, so this is another question I always get, and I'm speaking to a lot, pretty much all of you, because this is one of the major barriers we see in fitness these days is people don't drink enough when they work out or even prepare to drink enough. So I always get the questions of, well, am I drinking too much? I always have to go to the bathroom. So I wanted to do a slide just on this to try to break that down. Drinking more fluid than is comfortable in any condition has the potential to interfere with your performance. Okay, so first of all, I want to say that it's listen to your body. If you feel uncomfortable drinking this amount of water or whatever hydration it is, then back off a little bit. It's slow steps to get into it. In cool weather, when the exercise pace is gentle, the rate of sweat loss may be quite low. So you don't want to overhydrate. Because it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. Okay, and we're going to get into the different environments that you're going to be in as to how much you want to drink and what you want to supplement with. It's unnecessary and potentially dangerous to drink at rates that are far greater than sweat loss. And one tip I have on this is don't take big gulps or be chugging water during or before or even after exercise. You want to think about small sips. Okay, overhydrating during exercise can cause a dilution of your blood sodium levels. It's called hyponatremia. Symptoms can include kind of the same exact stuff as your dehydration, headaches, disorientation, coma, and in severe cases, death. Now, I do want to point this out, even though I have a slide on this. Over drinking is extremely rare. Okay, so for those of you who listen to me and I preach that you want to drink half of your body weight in ounces as a bare minimum. Okay, you're thinking, well, that's crazy. That's over drinking. Well, no, that's not even close. So I've never experienced this or seen this happen, but it is something that, full disclaimer, I want you to know about as we go through this. you know, dehydration is the lot more important topic that we want to talk about, but I want to include this. So, uh, we're really talking about the different heat and humidity. So heat, in particular, humid conditions can cause your body to lose its ability to cool itself as particles in your skin meet warm particles in the air. As we already talked about, the sweating, the perspiration rate is what tries to cool your body down. So if that is the same temperature and the sweat is kind of the same humidity dew point as the air outside, it becomes very difficult for your body to actually cool itself down. As well as consuming the fluids to cool your body, consider other strategies such as pouring water over your head. I see a lot of cold towels or ice packs on the back of your neck. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, but you also got to realize that this can have an adverse effect on your core body temperature, and you can lose function in your muscles from this temperature change. So you don't want to go overboard with just, jumping in an ice bath or, sticking ice cold ice cubes all over your body and whatnot. So kind of what we all want to get to. We'll talk about how important it is to stay hydrated, whatnot, but how much and when. So always start your exercise well hydrated. This is going to lower your risk of becoming dehydrated during the exercise. Develop a plan for drinking during exercise based on what your sweat rate is. Now that's a little in depth, but basically we're going to go over the very simple things. But let's think about 20 fluid ounces about an hour before your workout, obviously depending on the duration and intensity of your exercise. And think about roughly 6 ounces for every 20 minutes you work out. So if you're doing an hour workout, you want to think of having a full water bottle and finishing that full water bottle during your workout. During recovery, post-workout, you will continue losing fluids through sweat, urine loss. You're going to keep peeing after you work out. Okay, so that is completely normal. Drink fluids with recovery snacks and following the meals to replenish. It's very important, even after that workout, to keep restoring those levels to your body. Be smart. Okay, that's I mean simple, right? Bring a water. Okay, if you don't ever bring a water to a workout, ask someone, or be late for your workout if it's a timed thing, to get that water. That is very important. There's a lot of different ways. A lot of people, oh, well, I'm going for a long run, I don't want to carry a water bottle. There's everything on the market these days as far as those squeeze bottles, stuff that you can actually even wrap around your wrist, wrap around your belt. There's little commercial carb sources that you can just squeeze for fuel that you can stick in your pocket. But thirst is not an effective indicator of hydration. Okay, if you feel thirsty, you are already dehydrated. Okay, and sometimes that thirst isn't thirst for water; it's thirst for additional electrolytes, which we're about to get into. But the major things that you lose when you sweat is potassium and sodium. Sodium being salt, so you need some type of salt source during intense or long duration exercise. So different sports or intensity of those exercise, they pose different challenges, opportunities for optimal hydration. For team and racket sports, for those of you that still participate in those, there's formal breaks between play, substitutions, timeouts. Those offer some pretty good opportunities to drink. But some of those individual sports or just those long runs, you want to make sure that you plan that. You plan to have certain stopping points where there's a water fountain or where you park to your car and you can grab a water. So just preparation is everything, okay? So what's the best fluid to drink? Because I kind of talked about that water isn't necessarily always the best fluid to drink, okay? If it is very humid, you're going to sweat a lot more, meaning that you're going to need some more electrolytes. So as you say here, plain water is an effective drink, but, more so during the short duration or low intensity. Once you get up into the humid exercise outside, very intense exercise or long duration exercise, you want to supplement with some type of commercial carb electrolyte source, such as Gatorades, Powerades, Propels. There's a million on the market. Okay. So do your research and plan for those. Okay. I know personally, I don't like the flavor of Gatorade. I feel it's too concentrated, too strong. So I go with about a half and half ratio. I'll split it up into two and fill the rest up with water. You get more bang for your buck that way too. But basically, a carb is a fluid that's going to provide a muscle energy source as well as enhancing the flavor. So I know a lot of you don't like the water, taste of water, whatever it is. So feel free to supplement with just some watered down Gatorade. But yeah, as I spoke on earlier, if you're drinking a lot of water and you still feel dehydrated, it's not necessarily because you're dehydrated. It may just mean that your electrolytes are depleted. Okay? So some simple guidelines, as we already talked about, just kind of a quick little refresh. Sports drinks are ideally suited for those high intensity, stop and go exercise, very high intensity, where there's a lot of sprints or hard work for 30 seconds and then rest for 10 or 20, like a high intensity interval training or Tabata, or those endurance, those long duration sports that are greater than 90 minutes. These sports drinks are designed for that quick release of energy to your body. Just try to kind of relate it to back when we were all playing individualized or team young sports, and you did those team feeds the night before. Those are carb sources like breads and pastas, which typically I would not advise, but those are sources that will slowly be broken down for long duration activities, kind of supplement the same way as these sports drinks, but they're just quicker release. And just kind of reiterating some things I said earlier, drink one sip at a time. That's going to optimize your absorption and not allow you to pee as much as frequently or as much as you would think that you would with chugging. 20 fluid ounces 2 hours or an hour before that exercise, 4 to 6 fluid ounces every 20 minutes of exercise. And urine color is a great indicator of how hydrated or dehydrated you are. If it's highlighter yellow, or also the smell of that urine is a good indicator as to how hydrated you are. You want to be a little bit more diluted, not completely clear, but just a slight yellow tinge to it. So that's what you want to look at, another easy indicator. And I just wanted to kind of throw in some little facts, that I find interesting or that I feel like a lot of people might not know. It goes a lot more in depth than just simply making sure you're working at an optimal level. It has a major water hydration has a major effect on your different just energy levels. So for those of you that feel like you're always tired, take a look at how much water you're intaking. Okay, maybe that's something you can increase, and that alone can make you feel better and increase your brain function. It helps prevent hangovers. Okay, so even if you drink a small amount of alcohol, but just a cheap alcohol or a certain red wine, that can make you very, very dehydrated. So just drinking water, adding that in, can decrease the effect of those hangovers. That can help with headaches, constipation. It can also help with fat loss, which I know is a huge, huge goal of nearly everyone out there. So just increasing your water intake can help with that. It's also directly related to healthier skin, right? Who doesn't want to lose some fat and have healthier skin? Boom. So let's drink some more water. All right. So thank you so much for taking your time and learning a little bit. I know it's not always the sexiest thing to do is watch a PowerPoint, listen to some guy talk about how to stay hydrated, the importance of it, but I really, really appreciate it, and your body will appreciate it. So thank you so much. Stay safe and keep exercising.